Hello, knife community. Folder here. I'm going to do a quick review on the Spyderco Native 5 in Spy in CPM Spy 27, which is a steel made specifically for Spyderco by Crucible, specifically for them. But you know, the chemical composition is basically S30 to S35 VN. It's basically the same. But you know, it probably was a monetary reason as to why instead of just using S30 or S35s, they had them make Spy 27. So probably in marketing and financial reasons. Whatever. I didn't research that, so I'm not going to really comment on it. But anyway, so the Sage 5 is just under 7 inches long. The blade is 3 1/4. Cutting surface is like 2 1/2. So yeah, it's a small little knife. We'll do some quick comparisons to other knives comparable, and they're all Spydercos, by the way. And the first comparison is to the Sage 5, which these knives are extremely close in size and dimension. I need to point out that right, so the Sage is just over, is probably at 7. So yeah, they're extremely close. They're so close, you might say, well, you know, why would Spyderco put out this knife? Because I believe this comes in a lightweight also, and then also put out this different locking mechanisms. For one, you know, this uses the compression lock, the Sage, and this Sage happens to be an S30, and this uses a back lock. So you know, different locking mechanisms. Knives are very similar in size. They both employ the leaf-shaped blade, so they're very close. Another comparison is to the Chaparral, which is actually smaller than the Native 5. When you put them one on top of the other, you can see the blade size and the handle. So yeah, it's a little smaller. So it sits right in between these two knives in size. And this also, the Chaparral also uses a back lock. Okay. And what steel is this in? Oh, Carpenter's, correct. I should know that. Anyway, right. CTS, XHP. Another couple of comparisons just to get a perspective. The PM2. Pivot to pivot. PM2 is huge compared to this knife. Much bigger knife. Different platform. PM2, right? And this happens to be an S45, which also uses the compression. And finally, last but not least, is the Manix 2, which also is huge compared to this knife. Much bigger knife. The Manix carries, look at the inch longer blade handle, another inch there. So, you know, you're looking at, you know, a lot bigger. So you put these together, standing up on the table, bam, that's the difference you're looking at. Big difference. Yeah. So anyway, let's get to it. The blade on this knife is absolutely the best. Okay, I've used this a lot, have never had to sharpen it, so Spy 27 definitely holds an edge. Okay, because this is a user. This is not a, you know, put in a drawer and look at it because I like the way it looks. This is a user knife. So the blade has held up well. It is a leaf-shaped blade. It also has a forward cant, like a lot of other Spydercos do. Sage has the same one, and so does the Manix. There's a top swedge, and it has a flat grind to it. One thing I really, well, I like a lot. There's a lot of things I like about it, but the main thing I like about this knife and this particular blade is the front choil. The front choil is just absolutely beautiful on this knife. If you notice, choking up on it, I can get my entire hand on this, and I have extra large gloves, I can get my entire hand on this knife. Okay, coming back, of course, I only get 3 fingers, but this is so removed from the blade. This type of blade, this type of knife, doing detailed tool work, you're gonna be up here. You're not gonna be up. You're not gonna be back here. Okay, you're gonna be right up here working that way. Even to this extent, even a pinch grip with over the top, past the jimping, but just to get to the tip of the blade. But the jimping is absolutely perfect. It doesn't cut. It doesn't slide. It just stops. It just stops. When you push on this, it stops, and it feels excellent. The ergos on the knife are just really good. Anyway, it has FRN. This is not one you take apart in service. The FRN is the scales are FRN, fiberglass reinforced nylon, and it has the Spidey patterns here that offer incredible traction. So it's not like it's something that's going to be slippery in hand. You try to push forward in this motion with this, it just stops your fingers in their tracks. So it's really good. The back lock goes right to the jimping, and all the way to the back spacer. That's also FRN. Okay, really nice. Very easy to disengage the blade, and it's a slow roll. Okay, we don't have a compression lock or a cage ball bearing lock here. We have a back lock, so we're not trying to flick this. This is not about flicking at all. This is about slow roll. Let's get to work. Let's do what we have to do. That's what this is about. All business. Pocket clip is excellent. There is a complaint that the clip is so low that so much of this knife sticks out, but it's a tool. And if you feel like using this other than using like a box cutter or some other type of cutting tool, there's no need for deep carry here. Okay, this is not this. We don't need to be stealth. We're on the job site with this one. Okay, and the pocket clip is excellent. They just make a hole right in it for the lanyard, because we have to have the lanyard, right? It has to be there. So I'm not going to argue with that. But yeah, so the clip is absolutely perfect. It does its job. No nonsense tool. No nonsense. If you are looking for a smaller tool, light, with excellent steel, the only complaint it would be that it probably doesn't have extreme toughness to steel, because it's but as long as the task is at hand, what it's supposed to be, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Excellent. Highly rated. Okay? Yep. All right, guys. That's all I got. Spyderco Native 5. Lightweight. All right. Take care.